Welcome back, everybody. City Slicks here with Mevins. What's going on, Mevins?
Oh, just another day, my dude. How are you?
Oh, I've been a whirlwind. This will be my first video since I didn't check the actual date, but probably mid-December, early December, something like that. So it's definitely been a minute. So I wanted to do this as kind of a channel update, an update on myself, and just gonna catch up with you a little bit because again, you haven't been on my channel since the last video. Well, since whatever video I put up last, which actually I think was a Rocket League video. So
it was, yeah, and this is gonna be more podcast format, right? That's
True.
kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, so
I'm playing Rocket League in the background, so that way there's visuals on my end. But
I'll throw some video in the background. For me, it's actually going to be some hunt. I know we talked about putting some hunt up. I don't think you've gotten a chance to do that either yet.
No, and that's the thing is I might be able to do that as well because
you can just cut that video out.
I have a couple clips.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so anyways, I'll definitely be putting some hunt up there. It's a great game. I just haven't been able to post, and I will be able to fill you in on why that's been a thing, or that hasn't been a thing, has been a thing for a little bit here. But yeah, so anyways, just kind of a podcast just to give you an update. It allows me to be able to talk freely and not be distracted by the game, as we all know is a common issue for me.
Big downfall for a few of us. You
True.
being pretty bad at it. Me, I'm getting used to it.
I'm still
pretty bad at it too.
I take the games that I play seriously. There's only a few games that I don't take too seriously, but the main ones definitely being Hunt and Tarkov, which hopefully I'll be able to throw up here soon. Well, eventually. Anyways, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So first thing I want to throw out is in some of Mr. Mevin's videos, Mr. Me247 Gaming,
Mike.
Ooh,
for those of you that don't know,
he's gonna throw it right out there. So yes,
Mike.
So Mike, that's why I call him Mevins, just as a nickname for him. But so Mike, and then my name is Brandon. Again, that's probably going to be thrown out on Mike's channel quite a bit, so I just want to get that out there too. So, anyways, update. Let's go back to roughly September. I know I've thrown this out there a couple times through some videos, but I messed up my shoulder in September. Well, I didn't start noticing it until about October, but my dad and I we went shooting for a bit, IRL. I'm an avid shooter. I've grown up with guns. I love them. They're a lot of fun. I've just been around my entire life. We talked about the time with...
Here starts the huge discussion of gun control. And...
yeah, gun control. It means a good grip and a nice foregrip, and then, low recoil, right? Anyways.
Right.
And apparently in my situation, a nice butt pad would have been nice. But anyways.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't.
True. Actually, very true. So we talked about training Mike up on guns. He was never really involved with them, and I showed him how to shoot.
They terrify me even now.
But I showed him how to shoot and stuff like that too. So we've talked about that before. So anyway, I shot about my dad and I were shooting about mid-September, and just had a good heyday. I mean, we were out and about. It was out and about. I shouldn't say that. We were at the range in my parents' backyard. They have quite
out and about. I was just downtown
shooting the. Anyways, so we were in the backyard. My parents live out in the middle, kind of nowhere, so we have some woods that we can just kind of shoot into safely away from people. And obviously, there's no problems there. Honestly, there's more cows out there, so stray bullets have a better chance of hitting a cow, and that's very unlikely anyways. So besides that, so we were out shooting. We shot for quite a few hours, probably 2 or 3 hours. It was nice and warm, so we didn't really have any jackets. The reason why I say that is because most people see that as extra padding, which it definitely is. So we didn't really have extra padding on, just kind of t-shirts, which is totally fine. We still have glasses on, safety stuff, hearing equipment, stuff like that. So we were shooting. I shot what we think is the culprit. I shot a lever action gun, a 44 long Colt, 40 I think is what it was, but it has a brass butt plate on it and not a rubber one, which most guns nowadays have. And so the brass, what we think, kind of dug into my shoulder and actually tore my pec muscle. So, again, shot then. It started causing me pain. I'm sorry, kind of skipping around here. It caused me pain probably mid to late October. So I went into, we'll just say Dr. A, who is a very good friend of mine. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And I had texted him and just said, hey, could I get into your office? Let's do some x-ray or, see what we need to do because it's hurting. So we did some X-rays. Nothing showed up. He ordered an MRI, and then we saw this big white spot on the front side of my chest, my shoulder. I previously had some a labrum repair done by him, and so that's why, again, still being friends with him, and I've had history with him, so it was just better to go with him. So the labrum looked good. They knew there wasn't an issue with that, which was what I thought it originally was, and it was just kind of a really dull pain, kind of an annoying pain. But when we got the MRI back, there was this big white spot, probably about the size of a baseball, and he had some reservations about it, but it looked like a hemoglobin, a hematoma is what it was. That was what whenever you get an
hemoglobin,
whenever you get an MRI or a CAT scan or anything like that, there's a doctor that looks it over and then they write up a report. So the doctor that wrote up the report, then my doctor, Dr. A, he then reviews it, and that's the appointment. So I go in, he reviews the report with me, and we look it over and everything. So he grabs like everybody in the office and has them look at it like, dude, this is huge, this is crazy. I'm like, it'll get better. It's just a crazy hematoma. But he still had some reservations about it. And the reservations and I found out later on that he's had to diagnose a lot of friends and not necessarily family, just a lot of friends or close people with some weird stuff. So he wasn't sure. He's like, it looks like a hematoma, but he just still was kind of unsure, which made me unsure, especially because I was saying that it was getting worse, like it wasn't getting better. And so he's like, everybody was saying hematomas should be getting better, maybe take 6 months or so, but they ultimately should be healing up, not getting worse, especially me being 26. They should be healing quite fast, but it wasn't. So I ended
We're
up
throwing age out there now.
Oh yeah, 26.
I'm only 16.
Times 2.
Minus 2 years.
Minus 2 years.
Quick math, 30.
So so anyways, I'm just trying to push these kind of fast, but he then referred me to a sports medicine doctor or a person. I don't know if he's a doctor. I think it was a person or whatever in his office to get a ultrasound guided. What are those? I can't think of what the word is. Ultrasound guided, let's just say suction. So they can drain with hematomas. They can drain some of the blood. So from the MRI that we saw, it looked like it was too murky, too like clotted. And they probably wasn't gonna be able to get anything out of it. So, but we still wanted to take a look at it and see. So, get to that doctor. Said the same thing. It's too murky. Dr. B. Actually, we won't even call him Dr. B. It's just another person. He's not really that important in this one. So, he can't drain anything, which we figured. So he referred me to physical therapy and to a general surgeon. Did the physical therapy for a couple weeks. It would kind of feel good for that day, and then it would just start to hurt really, really bad. So, in preparation for meeting with the surgeon, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks out. I did a couple physical therapies, and then the head of physical therapy, who was also a friend of mine. We're actually all involved in a men's Bible study group, so that's how we got. We'll just throw religion out there too, but that's how. That's how we all know. I knew a lot of these people. They go to my church, and we're involved in that way. So. He actually told me, let's go ahead and stop. He said there seems like there's something else in there. We want to get that figured out before we do any physical therapy. So went to the general surgeon. So this is Dr. B. This guy's kind of important. So he ended up ordering a biopsy and another drainage. I can't remember what that's called. But anyways, ordered another drainage. So a ultrasound guided drainage. And that if that couldn't be drained, then they would just go and do a biopsy right then and there. Because it's like, again, if it's not getting better, then there's something else probably there. So same thing happened. Did another ultrasound, still murky, nothing changed. To me, that was kind of stupid, but whatever. And, it got me there and got me in to do the biopsy. That was on a Thursday, I believe. And Monday, I got a call. I remember it as such. That Dr. B had called me, and I was actually at work, and he told me that it was a sarcoma, which is a soft tissue cancer. Drop the mic there. Not you, Mike, just, the hypothetical mic. Anyways,
Right.
Dad jokes are fun. So,
Yeah.
So what I don't remember if this is what he said, but okay. So I believe that he told me that it was a sarcoma, which is a soft tissue cancer. It's only in one spot, meaning that it hasn't spread, it hasn't metastasized for those medical people out there, which was good news that it hadn't spread. And he was also, I remember hearing him say that it wasn't going to spread. So I'm like, okay, cancer sucks, but it's not spreading. It's not gonna spread. It hasn't spread. It's just in one spot. And he also said that it was just going to be resolved by surgery alone. So I was living off of that. I told Dr. A, good friend, that that's what was going on, and he's like, okay. And then the doctor, Dr. B, was referring me to another doctor. I had told Dr. A what was going on, and he knew that based off of what they thought it was, hint hint, that I need to go to this other doctor. And let's just say Dr. C and D. Dr. C was the one I got referred to. My friend said, no, you need to go see Dr. D if this is the case. Dr. D, funny, whatever. We'll skip that. Dr. F. So
Dr. D.
so
That's for the wives.
yeah, I had to go see Dr. F. So my Dr. A just went ahead and just said, go and cancel with Dr. C. I'm going to go ahead and get you in with Dr. F. And it worked because Dr. C was basically 2 weeks out, and Dr. F was a week out and actually specialized in sarcomas. So that helped out a ton. So I go in. Sorry, there's a lot of information here. So I go in and talk to Dr. F. And this is where the whole story kind of basically starts from here. So I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and revamp this and go back to make Dr. F Dr. A, because now we're going to have A, B, and C, and these are the only 3 doctors that matter now. So Dr. A is my main doctor now. He is the one that specializes in sarcomas. He's the one that's going to be referring me to the other 2 people that I need to go talk to and figure out what's going on. He ordered to find out, or to get the original. He's actually in a different hospital, different area around me. He ordered the biopsy results from the first hospital to have his team review them, because it turns out, as I said before, it looked like a sarcoma. It wasn't actually decided that that's what it was. And my friend doctor thought ignorance was bliss, which he was totally right. It kind of sucked, though, when he told me that, yeah, that's not the case. So that opened up a huge door into not knowing really what it was. We don't know if it's spread. We don't know if it's going to spread. We don't know if I have to have chemo or radiation or, what. It became this whole big giant question mark again. So Dr. A got the biopsy results and ordered for the biopsy results. He also ordered a CAT scan for me so that we could see if it had spread, to see if there was any other spots in my body. So that was a huge, I want to say about 2 weeks, because I think I got in to see him, and I think it was maybe it was that Friday. It was either, I don't know, whatever it was. It felt like a year of my life. But I got a CAT scan shortly after, either that Friday or the following Friday. I can't remember. I think let's just go with that Friday. So I had a CAT scan that Friday, and that was the most terrifying thing in my life, because that was that's going to decide what's about to happen. It's going to tell me where it's at and kind of what we need to do. So the nurse in the office, in Dr. A's office, eventually called me. I think I went in at 8 a.m. on Friday, and she called me at 11. And she just said, I want to give you this good, quick news. Actually, she left me a voicemail because I missed the call. And she's like, call me back when you can. And the doctor that did the biopsy originally, he had the same thing that happened. And I'm like, well, the last time I heard this from a doctor, it wasn't good, so I'm not excited for this. And I'm shaking and whatever, terrified of what this nurse is going to tell me. And she said that it's only in one spot. So I almost started crying right then and there at work. Again, I'm at work. But it was amazing news. It was fantastic to be able to hear that. And I could have hugged her through the phone if I had the chance, because that was just awesome. So that was good. We, again, knew that it was only in one spot, but we still need to kind of figure out what it was. So fast forward to whenever we get the biopsy results, it turned out it is a sarcoma. So, we're on the same track. So we're back to where we were. So it's a sarcoma. We know it's in one spot. Now we just need to figure out how to get it out. So after talking to doctors B and C that Dr. A referred me to. It was a radiation doctor and a chemotherapy doctor. They decided that I am going to go through radiation. So radiation first I have to do, which actually starts today when this video comes out. It will be 5 weeks, so 5 days a week for 5 weeks that I'll have to do radiation. It's about 10 to 15 minutes a day that I'll do that for. And then I'll be waiting about a month to like 3 to 4 weeks, and then we'll do surgery. And then I don't know what the waiting period is, but I will most likely end up having to do chemo. Reason being is because I'm what they call a young individual, which I guess is true.
Young, what it cut out.
A young individual. And so,
Gotcha.
Supposedly sarcomas are curable. You're able to, the idea behind them is that you do the radiation, it shrinks, it kills the tumor. Ultimately it's supposed to kill the tumor. It shrinks the inflammation, so there's inflammation around the tumor and the tumor. It's supposed to shrink those however much. That's just, I guess, kind of based on luck to an extent. There's really no telling how much it's going to shrink, but there are cancer cells in the inflammation as well, so they're trying to kill that off and shrink that down, and they're supposed to shrink the tumor away from nerves and stuff, because right now it's in my right arm, or it's in my right shoulder. It's right next to the nerve that controls my whole right arm, which is kind of scary. But other than that, as far as I know, that's really the scariest part about it, other than the fact that yes, it is cancer. So the idea is to do the radiation to shrink it, kill it, do whatever they can with that. Wait for, apparently after radiation, after you stop radiation, it continues to work for about 2 more weeks. Then we'll do another MRI, to see how much it's changed. I just had another MRI. I apologize. Had an MRI before we decided all this radiation stuff. So they had to see, once they found out it was only one spot, they did another MRI to get more detail on that area, and that's what's planned out to the radiation that starts today. So we then sorry, I don't know if I cut out there, but
You didn't.
okay, cool. So apologize. So I have to another MRI before the surgery to see how much it's shrunk, if it's shrunk, where it's at, to plan the surgery. The surgery, they take out it's called negative margin. So the tumor, let's just say the size is the size of a baseball. And this isn't exact, but let's just say the negative margins is what they actually take out the size of a softball. So they want to get surrounding tissue, which there are cancer cells in, and they do a biopsy on the negative margins and the tumor itself, to see how many cancer cells are in the negative margins. Depending on that percentage or number, whatever I don't know what it actually is, that decides how much chemo I have to take. Because again, back to a young individual part, because it is curable, and I'm young, and they were probably going to put me through an intense chemo, which instead of being, which is my understanding of Breaking Bad, that you go in for a couple hours and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a professional in this. This is just my limited knowledge. I am absolutely medically dumb. I am fortunate enough that I have not had many medical issues until now. This is a big one to be a part of. This is fantastic. But
I don't know much about it myself, and I have history with stuff like this kind of. So I couldn't correct you myself.
So my understanding is that you go in for a couple of hours on a drip and then you leave. So what they're saying is that I have to go into the hospital for 2 to 3 days. They'll put me on a drip for 24 hours. And then I will be in the hospital for another day or two for kind of rest and recovery. Because obviously people say that chemo really messes up your body, which I can imagine.
That is a fact.
So anyways, I guess all of this to say there's a lot ahead. This has really affected my shoulder, which is my main arm, my right shoulder, which is my dominant hand, my dominant arm. So it's become really, really, really difficult to play mouse and keyboard too much, which is games like Hunt. I've actually really kind of fallen off of Call of Duty because I'm starting to play these slower games, which have been a lot of fun. I really do like them. But it's very difficult to play with a bad shoulder. They've put me on some new medication, which has been very difficult to balance. And it's easily been by far the most pain that I've ever been in my life. I'm not looking for like sympathy or anything like that. It's an eye-opening experience, and I'm glad that I've been able to be like everybody says that I'm like really happy-go-lucky and stuff like that. And it's because I know that it's gonna be fine. Like I know that through my faith and belief, I'm not trying to push that on anybody, but like it's going to be okay. Like I've got I 100% have a good diagnosis that it is only in one spot, that we have a plan, and that it is curable. And I know that not a lot of people get that. So I know I'm very fortunate in that manner. So my heart goes out to those who are in a situation where it's not good. And there's definitely in friends, not necessarily no family members that have struggled with cancer, but I know friends and their family that have. And again, I know it's not easy. This has been very, very difficult.
Yeah,
but
it sure is.
I know you've been quiet for the most part, and I appreciate that, because just being able to get all this information out there. But Mike has been a huge help. Just being able to play with him and just being able to laugh and joke around with the other people that we play with too has been super helpful, because this is just like my escape. It's my escape from the real world. And
I mean, you have your wife too, and that's
true.
Nice,
very true. Yeah,
and that's not to take anything away from her or whatever.
No,
because she's amazing. She's right there with you through it all, just like me.
Yeah,
she's just literally there where I'm not able to be physically there all the time because just the distance between. Otherwise, 100%, we'd be hanging out all the time like we have and all that stuff.
She's my emotional support, my go-to. You are just there on the platform that she doesn't partake in. So she's not a gamer, so this is my out. So when I'm able to play with friends and stuff like that during my out, during my downtime, it's just helpful to have that support there too. So I definitely appreciate that from you. You know that already. But it's a lot. So I guess future of the channel really kind of looks I would say bright. It's just gonna take a little bit. I mean, as kind of the timeline, which is like 5 weeks, 4 weeks, and then unknown. I mean, that's already putting us 2 months out, and then that's not counting recovery and chemo and stuff like that. So I mean, we're talking probably 3 to 4 months, and then most likely, what's the word I'm looking for? Physical therapy and stuff too, to get the motion and everything back in. There is the chance for partial or complete paralysis in my shoulder or in my arm, and that could be for just a short period of time. I mean, the worst part would be complete forever, but apparently that working close to this nerve, whatever the nerve is, I can't remember, but it apparently can get mad and kind of shut down for a period of time, an undisclosed period of time. So obviously we're
like almost seize up.
Yeah, so obviously we're hoping against that, but it'll be good. It's just, I'm still playing. I'll play a lot. It's just sometimes I have to take a break because it just gets really, really sore. And I haven't been editing. So I've been playing a ton. It's kind of hard to play and edit. I just rather just spend my time playing and just relaxing right now. So that's why I have not been putting videos out.
And that's the thing, is that's the stuff that you need to be focusing on anyway, is that like this will be here when you get back.
Right.
That's no problem. It's getting to be able to come back is what we're, shooting for. So no pun
intended.
I don't mean dying. I mean shoulder paralysis stuff. Like, because if that's done, then I mean, I don't think I guess they make some controllers and stuff like that to be able to do stuff, but for the mouse and keyboard aspect, like, you won't get any of those games anymore.
No, there's people, you can look out there. There's people that play that are like really, really, really good at like PUBG, and they play with their mouth. Like, there's one guy who plays laying down. I think he has at least no arms, but he literally plays with his mouth. They have this like special thing where like I don't know, you just have to look it up. But he has like a bit that he puts in his mouth, and he just plays all the games with like his cheeks, chin, mouth. It's nuts. It's crazy, and he's really good. Not that I'm going to be doing that, but I'm just saying, I'm sure they've got stuff. But the hope is, again, that I don't have, and I've got complete control of it right now. Like, I don't have any strength. I don't have strength loss in my hand. I have strength loss in my arm. I can't really pick up stuff. It can get kind of weak. I can grab stuff. Like, I pick up a cup of coffee and drink it. I'm not going to drop it, but
hey, me too.
I just can't hold it for long. So, you just slurp something?
Yeah, my coffee.
Oh my gosh.
I literally have coffee just chilling here.
That's hilarious. But anyways, on that note, I think that is it. So anything else that you want to throw in there, Mevins?
Um,
Mike?
just the fact that I know that it's rough because this is all new. You haven't really experienced much with this stuff. I mean, at
Mm-hmm.
least firsthand. Um,
And don't take my
and
demeanor as like, I mean, I've been dealing with this for 2 months now, so like I've already had a chance to take it all in. So don't get me wrong, like it's rough, and I'm not trying to, again, I'm not trying to get sympathy votes. I'm just trying to update, well, what's going on. But I'm
and this
sad,
isn't. Yeah,
but it's
exactly. I was gonna say
yeah, like
it's
it's
take
hard to
away from
yeah, it's hard to deal with, but I've been dealing with it for 2 months. Like this isn't just recent news to me, so don't take my demeanor and calm talking as like, oh, like this isn't a big thing, or me trying to make a joke out of it. Like, it's not. It's not like that. Nothing like that
that.
whatsoever.
Yeah, and so like my big worry is so okay. You have this cancerous thing,
Mm-hmm.
and in my own personal experience, it hasn't ever been good. And this isn't to take away from what you just were explaining and going through and all that. But I mean, for those of you that don't know me on a personal level, we'll get pretty personal real quick. So I don't want to make this about me. I just want to explain kind of my viewpoint on it. And it is that I lost an aunt due to lung cancer that moved to brain, and I lost my mom in 2011 due to lung cancer and cancerous tumors.
Mm-hmm.
And here I have one of my best friends, one of my groomsmen, who he has a cancerous tumor, and it's rough for me. And I poke fun at it, like I joke at it, because if you take it too serious, it's always going to be a downtime.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to be your cheerful self, which is why the stay kind, stay positive comes into play whenever I say it. And it's for times like this because life is too serious all the time that if you constantly live in that setting, it's only here to bring you down. Like there's too
Right.
much negative in this world, not enough positive, that you're always going to be in that like down mood. And then again, I have one of my absolute best friends, who's dealing with such a huge thing. And again, it's like all of my experiences have been nothing but negative.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I try to look at it positively, like, yeah, this isn't going to spread, or chance of it spreading isn't as high or whatever. But
And your experiences, it has.
it's yeah, like they haven't ended well.
Yeah.
And
So
that's that. And again, it's not to take away from what you were just saying or to make the eyes point at me or whatever.
no, you're just pointing to your
But
experiences. Yeah.
that's yeah. So like my quick thoughts are that I'm hopeful, 100% hopeful, and I see it being a good thing in this that it'll all be fine. But I still have that worry for the simple fact that my guard has to be up just from previous experiences.
Right.
Like I have to have my guard up, otherwise I'm setting myself up for failure in the end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
True. Yeah. So two notes on the sarcomas too. Well, one note on sarcoma, one note on mine. So sarcomas are very rare. So they don't know a whole lot about them, and I won't go into why, but there is 1,000 apparently 1,000 cases of carcinomas for every one case of a sarcoma. It's actually, I'll say it real quick. It's because of the every time a cell regenerates, it has a chance to become cancerous. And sarcomas they're soft tissue cancers. And soft tissues don't regenerate as fast as like linings, so different organ linings. So I'm just throwing some out there, so like breast cancer or pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer. Like apparently those are cell linings, or that those are caused or because of cell linings or whatever, and those regenerate so fast, about 1,000 times faster than soft tissues. Again, this is what I've been told. Correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. But that is why. So they regenerate a lot faster, which is why they have a higher chance of happening. And then mine, this is just crazy. And so, like as Mike has mentioned, that we kind of joke about it. Again, we're not joking about cancer in general. We're just joking about my situation, because again, we're just jokesters and we're joking about it to each other.
Sometimes too much.
Sometimes, but again, it's between us, and I love the
We
joke.
know it's coming from a good place. We know
Yeah.
that it's not anything serious in terms of like the joke.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say like, oh, my arm's hurting. Like
Yeah.
Brandon will say every so often, my arm hurts. I'm like, oh, what's the problem? You got a cancerous tumor or something?
Yeah.
And it's not to make fun of it. It's just to try to make light of a really really crappy situation
Oh yeah, 100%.
that has a positive light. I mean, like there's a positive end to it from everything that's showing, but it is still a very like cloudy, like dark cloud over the skies situation.
Yeah, but yeah, so we definitely make light of it. But so this is just an interesting fact about mine, and I think it's just kind of nuts. So after my recent MRI, again, to plan out the radiation, they put some measurements on there, and they put it in centimeters. I'm not going to read those off, but rough measurements are some Google, what's the word I'm looking for? Conversions
Comparison?
between centimeters to inches. It is 5 inches by 4.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So I say roughly the size of a potato. And so a joke about that is one of the people at work told me that they're going to start calling me Spud. And I said, that's fine, as long as you say it in a southern accent. So it's like, Spud, what's up, Spud? And I'm like, that's good. You can do that. So jokes like that. Like, it's just making light of more so my situation, not necessarily cancer as a whole. But
Yeah. That doesn't mean go start making fun of it to other people or like joking about cancer to people, because it doesn't get taken lightly
Right.
all the time.
No, not at all. No.
Like
But,
we make jokes about it ourselves, about my situation as well, like the things that I've been through.
mm-hmm.
And it's all fine because I know that it's in good fun and there's nothing actually harmful about the jokes that we're making.
But there is a line. Ultimately, there is.
Yes, and that's what I was just gonna say is like you make sure you're in the right company. You make sure that the point is there, that it isn't supposed to make you feel bad or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or to make somebody hurt. That is not the goal.
Right. But yeah, so that's it. I think we will leave it there. Definitely post questions and comments, whatever you may have. That's it from me though. So if you want to wrap us up there, Mike.
So, I mean, I want to hear. So I'm putting this up on my channel as well. You guys are gonna see it on my channel as well. So let me put my controller down because it's always weird holding a controller on a camera. So, like for me, at least in my channel, on my comments here, let me know your guys' experiences if you've had them, your thoughts, your ideas on how to handle it, or things that you guys have been through with stuff like this, or maybe not even as crucial. Like what if there's just like a really bad flu that you went through? Fine, tell me. Mono, that was a big deal. Let me know like your hardest situation you guys have been through, how you guys got through it, or whatever. Or use us as a venting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you guys are going through some crap right now and you guys just want to chit chat, hit me up in the comments. I'll give you my email or something, and we can literally just have a private conversation about whatever you guys are going through.
Absolutely.
I'm not certified in any of this. Like I'm no psychologist or whatever, but I will do my best to be there for you guys in any way, shape, and form, especially if it's just to let you guys unload some of your stresses on me
Mm-hmm.
and just, get it off your chest. You guys don't know me, so you don't have to trust me, but also you guys don't know me, so I'm not going to go spout your guys' stuff out. So if it just needs to be a secret, hit me up. Let me know. Get it off your chest, and then, that'll be that. I'll delete the email afterwards. It'll never be found again. But that's like I said, just for my channel at least, unless Brandon has anything to add to that.
No, same here. That's what I said. Same thing for me. So we're definitely good listeners in that manner. It's always helpful to just have somebody to sit down and just listen to you rather than always want to try to fix problems or whatever. But if you just want somebody to listen to, absolutely we can do that too. Plus we got a Discord server, so we're definitely looking to add people there too. So it's always easy to talk things through rather than just type them out and wait for a response. So we've always got that. If you want,
yeah, we can make like a vent channel on there.
that'd be sweet. Like Ventrilo.
Fashion.
Okay. An old vent server.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways.
Well, on that note, as always, guys, just always stay kind, always stay positive. Let's get through all these tough times that everybody has, and will be coming, because let's just be honest, this is not the last to hear from a bad thing from somebody that you guys know.
Yep.
Somebody's always going through something, so just be there as much as you can.
Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
Well, until the next video, Mike, I will see you later.
Laters.